What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Some of the fiberglass has turned up. That's the tissue to go over top of it. But I've also had this. I don't know where, well actually I think I know where it came from. There is a note in here. This should keep you going for a bit, now get on with it. Lol. It's basically a jiffy bag stuffed full, absolutely stuffed full of Sharpies. Which is good. I was down to my last one. I think, I don't know, it could be Stu, it could be Stuart, you know, the fella who sent us all the Marvin stuff for Jake. It could be him, because his handwriting looks familiar, but there's nothing, there isn't anything on here that says like where it came from. I don't know. And there's nothing else in it. I think it's Stu. If it is you, Stu, thank you very much for that, matey. That is mega. That is going to definitely keep me going. Right. So I've had a little bit of a spritz up and just oiled stuff down and whatnot. I'll put that on my safe. What am I doing today? Right, Sherman, I'm dead chuffed with. Brenda, not so much. There's a few changes that Brenda needs. But Sherman, I'm happy with. So, normally when I build anything, I'll just leave it raw. So it's just raw steel, that's it. There's no finish to it or anything else. Purely because if I want to tweak and change it, like I am going to be doing on Brenda, now I don't really want to be grinding off paint or anything else. I'll just go straight over what's there. But Sherman I'm happy with, so he's getting a coat of paint today. Where's my stuff? There it is. Good old Hammerite. In black, hammered finish. Right, so literally he's just been cleaned down with a degreaser because I cover everything in here in oil. Oil and paint do not make good bedfellows. So yeah, he's been degreased, and then I just went over it with a load of acetone as well, just to try and clean it up and get it ready for paint really. And like I say, this is just Hammerite. It's brush it on bare metal, there's no faffing about with priming or anything else. And stuff just lasts when it's covered in this goo. So that's what I'm using. Now, I'm not the best with a paintbrush. Give me an airbrush and it'll be a lot better. Well, it's Hammerite, it ain't got to be great, is it? Yeah, something I was good. Well, I wasn't going to say anything. Then I thought, well, poke it, it's my channel, I can do what I want, so I'm going to say something. Because I can. More of that in a minute. We've been going since, what, September, October 2019? Something like that. It's now January 2020, and we've got like 4,000 subs, which is awesome. Never thought that was going to happen, but it has. Come on. There we go. So yeah, that's awesome. And on the whole, people seem to be really enjoying it, which I am dead tough with. I never thought it would be, you know, very popular. I thought, you know, might get a few people have a look-see, and that'll be it. But it's definitely got popular, which is sweet. So if you're one of the subscribers, thank you very much. Do appreciate it. And I'm loving the comments. The comments are just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So keep them coming. So that's all going nice, and every time we launch a video and stuff, you get a whole load of comments, you know, little messages of support and loving that, and, you know, good idea and all this kind of stuff. And then occasionally you just get a thumbs down, which is fine, and I ain't got a problem with getting a thumbs down at all. It's sort of par for the course. If you're going to go on YouTube, not everyone's going to like it, and that's just something you have to be ready for. So that's fine. I ain't got a problem with getting a thumbs down at all. And they've obviously disliked it enough to give it a thumbs down, but they don't tell you why. Never has he told me why. Nobody. Which is a bit stupid, really, if you think about it, because one, you're watching something that you don't really like, which, you know, that's up to you, I suppose. So that's spoiling your day. And you've told me you don't like it by giving me a thumbs down, but you haven't said what you don't like about it. So I don't know what I need to change, or, you know, what it is that you don't like about it, that I can change it so you do start liking it. So the only person whose day you're spoiling is your own. That's it. It ain't affecting me at all, because you haven't said nothing. I mean, if it's like, don't get me wrong, I ain't just going to bow over and do anything that people want. No, you can poke that idea right off. But if it's something like, I don't know, you don't like cafe races, then what are you watching a cafe racer channel for? Maybe it is just so you can give it a thumbs down. Maybe that's how you have fun. Bit of a sad existence if you do. If it's something like, don't like the style of the bike. Well, it's not your bike, it's Steve-O's bike, and I'm building it for him, and he's told me what he wants, and I quite like it. So if that's your problem, well, you can do one, because we ain't changing it. If it's something like, well, I don't know, the lighting's rubbish, or it's not in focus, or the sound's terrible, or, I don't know, you waffle too much. That was a good one. If it's stuff like that, I stand a chance of being able to change it. But you got to tell me what it is you don't like about it. If I can change it, if I want to change it, then I will. And then maybe you'll start enjoying the videos and stop wasting your time. But if you don't, then you're just going to get more of the same, and you ain't going to like the next one. So yeah, food for thought. Tell me what you want and you might get it. If you don't tell me, you're never going to get it. Right, Brenda the Bender, is staying all greased up for now. Reason being is there's some changes I want to make to her. Oh, this is good, don't get me wrong. For a homebrew bit of kit, I'm well impressed with what she can do. But she does need a few little modifications and stuff. So what I'm thinking is, especially if you're bending thicker stuff like 2mm, or sort of beyond really, it's not breaking the metal, it's bending the metal. So what I mean by that is that the radius of your bend isn't as tight as I want it to be, which isn't ideal, and it just comes down to the rigidity of the thing more than anything. I mean, this is quite a light built bit of kit really, but it's good enough for doing battery boxes and under trays and all that sort of stuff, which is what I built it for in the first place. So what I'm going to end up doing is I need to brace this pattern. When you bend it on the thicker stuff, this does bow out a little bit. I mean, it's what, 5mm ish, something like that, angle iron. sorry, steel, but it does bow a little bit. So I'm gonna put some bracing down here. I'll have the handles off, I'll redo all that lot, but it needs to be braced underneath, so it'll probably be like 2 diagonals and 1 up the middle. Might even splay it out so it's in 2 places, don't really know yet, but that needs to happen. The other thing is that I'm going to remake the blades out of thicker stuff, because they do flex a little bit. I've got the gap in here real tight, so as you're rolling it up, obviously the platen is bowing slightly that way, but the blades also lift. So I'm going to remake the blades, and whilst I'm at it, I'll probably put some bracing on here. This bit ain't shifting, because this is like 2 bits of that angle sort of welded together. So it is strong. It is, you know, it is pretty tough stuff. But I just want to try and take out some more of the flex. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then the other thing is the angle of the blades on the bottom. I'm going to cut that very slightly shallower, I think, when I remake them, just because that way it will grip the material against this rear platen and keep it flat. What I don't like is when you bent it and then you take the pressure off the platen, whatever's inside it tends to rock back, and I just don't like that. So yeah, she's staying greasy for the minute. There's always time for lubrication. Right, so that's it. This really is just a quick update for you. Brenda, with any of the stuff I do, I like to use it before I finally paint it and everything else, just because that way I know it's all good and I ain't going to be changing it again. Brenda does need those mods. She is quite good at the minute, but she could be so much better. So we're going to get those done, and then she'll be getting a coat of paint the same as Sherman here, and it will get sorted. Once I have made the changes to Brenda, I will, there is going to be a part 2 where I'll do all the mods, and I will also put a copy of the plans up, or, you know, my rubbishy little drawings. So if you want to make one yourself, then at least you've got something to go by. You can see what I did and tweak it to suit your needs. But yeah, with the whole, if you don't like something on the channel, tell me, because it ain't going to change anything unless I know what I'm going to be changing. I quite like doing my own thing, but if there's little stuff that's cheesing people off and I can tweak and change it, then just let me know. If I can, I will. That's gonna sting. Ow. But yeah, so just a little update. We're waiting on I got some of the fiberglass. I'm just waiting on I've got a couple of GRP kits coming, which should be fine to do the seat unit with. We're not doing the composite, you know, the weave jobby. You get chop strand and you get tissue, which is what those two are what I'm going to be using. But you can also get this weave, so it's like a fabric. It's woven to 90 degrees. But when I mentioned I was going to be using that to laminate it all up, I had a couple of messages come through, which is from a couple of guys that do this for a living, so they obviously know what they're talking about. And they were saying I'm probably not going to need it, because that's more for things like building boats and whatnot, fiberglass hulls. So yeah, we ain't going to need it. We're just going to do it in chop strand tissue over the top of it. So anyway, as soon as that gets here, we can crack on, and this weekend we'll be getting the seat pan done. All that will get done in a day, because it don't take that long to go off, although it is bloody freezing in there. Definitely a woolly hat day. So that's going to be the next thing that we get sorted. Custom Tom, he's one of the fellas who regularly chips in a comment every now and then, and he said, is Bluetooth going to work underneath the seat if it's got a bit of metal in it? That's a real good question. I don't know. It should, because it's a radial thing, isn't it? It's not a directional thing. And we have got holes in it anyway, and it's not like the whole thing is completely encased in it. So I think we're going to be all right. But the other thing is we're also talking about having a USB charging point, just in case his phone is a bit low on battery and he doesn't want his bike turning off. So that may well get squirreled underneath the seat, and if that's the case, we'll probably have somewhere to put his phone under the seat as well. It'll be in there with the M unit, so it ain't going to turn off, is it? What was the other thing people were saying? Oh yeah, about this this actuator idea that we had. You know, the ejector seat. I really want a big red button. Yeah, there's quite a few people picked up. What happens when the battery goes flat? Fine question. What we're going to do, because he's going to need a charging point for the battery anyway, and he's going to need to get a lithium charger, because I don't think he's got one at the minute. I know I haven't. But what we're going to end up doing is having a fly lead that connects up to the battery. So that way, if his battery does go flat, because he hasn't used it in ages, which I can't see, but if it's peeing down with rain, it'll probably lock it up for a bit. So there's going to be a fly lead to charge it up with. And worst case scenario, you just plug another battery in. That way you can still hit the actuator and still release the seat and everything's all good, so he'll still be able to get in there. But it's a good point. We had thought of it, but it's nice to see that people are picking up on this sort of stuff and throwing it in the comments as well. So, you know, keep them coming, it's ideal. The only other update for you is what with the change of all the logo and all the shenanigans and all that malarkey from YouTube and some little oik that went and dobbed me in. We've had to change all the Teespring bit. That was the last thing that needed to change. So we have got new t-shirts with the new logo, and it's like in all the colours, in all the styles and all that stuff. So if you want to treat yourself, have at it. Completely up to you. We do get a little bit of a kickback from it. It's not a lot, but you know, every little helps. And I am plugging the t-shirts. There's a link in the description to all the videos and stuff. So, you know, if you want to treat yourself, then awesome, have at it, like I say. But anyway, that's where I'm leaving it today. It's only a quick update for you, but I just wanted to let you know what's going on, answer some of the questions in the comments that we've had, and just tell you what the plans are for Sherman and Brenda. So there you go, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Laters.